Hello, a Basic Brian here, and I'm going to go over my the band Genesis collection and the 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s even English rock band that could be thought of as prog or pop rock or yeah, basically that, maybe a pop group early on as well. I've been interested in collecting all their releases or albums, at least on CD or vinyl, so I have it varied. And this is basically how I went about doing that. And I have their first album here in a weird compilation called Rock Roots Genesis. And it has a couple singles as well, kind of tucked into it in various places. And this is their second album, Trespass. This is where they started to go prog on a couple tracks at least, and it's a pretty good album, still a little folky and acoustic, but very good, very interesting. And next we go to The Best Genesis, which is another compilation that is basically their third and fourth albums, Nursery Crime and Foxtrot, on one release, but without the cover of those, with alternate covers showing Peter Gabriel in costume there. So I decided to get this because it was fairly cheap, and this is when Phil Collins joined the band as a full-time drummer and added more rollicking and technical proficiency and jazz influence in there. And this could be thought of as the best Genesis, but I wouldn't call it a best of or the best hits. And next we have Genesis Live, which came out before the next great album, Selling England by the Pound, on a single LP. A very strong album with a lot of statements and otherworldliness in it, in my opinion. And next we have The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the double album, the last one with Peter Gabriel writing all the lyrics and the band coming up with the music. And afterwards we would get the Phil Collins fronted era, which I have a lot of on vinyl. We got A Trick of the Tail, Wind and Weathering, Seconds Out, another live album, a double live album with an epic, basically 20-minute song on one side. This is the last album with guitarist Stephen Hackett, who joined up with the band on Nursery Crime along with Phil Collins from that Best compilation. But we would lose Steve Hackett and then there were three. The three would be Mike Rutherford, Tony Banks, and Phil Collins, and various other musicians helping him out on tour. And because you can't really drum like that and sing at the same time most of the time. And next we would get Duke, a classic, and Abacab, and their self-titled album. But before this came out, we have Three Sides Live, another wonderful 1.5 album and another side of B-sides. A very classic live album, probably one of my favorites by them. And we have Invisible Touch after this, which I have on cassette, but my cassette is not with me. I did not grab it. And then we would move on to another era. We Can't Dance, the last official album with Phil Collins singing. And we get 2 live albums from that tour with The Shorts and the longs. So 2 live albums on 2 discs. So that's pretty cool. And then we would lose Phil Collins after this tour, but Genesis would make another album with, or Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford would join with Ray Wilson and record Calling All Stations, which is a worthy album in itself. But after that, they would release a greatest hits album that was recently released on two vinyl LPs, originally released on 1 CD. Here's a little sight of Invisible Touch. And before their last tour, they would release another best of with studio tracks for their 2021-2022 tour, The Last Domino. So yeah, this is essentially my Genesis collection. I was thinking about reviewing some of their albums, but instead I'm just gonna go with laid back, going over my collection, how I got to it. And thank you for watching. All the best. Take care.